Hi, welcome to the Introstat R Lab series. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a report by using R. So you don't need to transfer the numbers you got from the R to your Word document. We can create all this through by using the R's here. Okay, so let's go ahead, get started. Let me go to the R Studio here so you be able to follow me, when you do that. Okay, so in here, in the R Studio, the first things here, you need to go down the bottom right corner, the package things here. You need to go to the package called R, the R Markdown. So RMARK. Okay, R Markdown here and R Mark MARKLNN. Let me see R. Okay, so here I'm sorry, I find it. R Markdowns here, right? So it's called Dynamic Documents for the R. So you click it. That means I'm going to use this software. Okay, so here is how to create your lab report here. Okay, so here, go over here, code file. You want to do a new file. Okay, so this new file is called R Markdown files, right? So you code this R Markdowns here. So this package is pretty smart. It will be automatically pick up, like what is your name and when you did that. Okay, and then the titles here, I want every student put your last names here. So this will be the file you saved, right? So it's a Shiko. Okay, so I will say Shiko and R lab exercise 1. All right, so I will say the R exercise number 1 here. So this will be your file name, okay? And then the authors here will they know because you log in into your own R server, it will automatically pick that up. And then you want to create a Word document here, all right? So this is okay. Okay, so now you see here, the R's here, they give you, they said the Shiko R Lab Exercise 1. Author is Teresa Shiko, and here is my date. And the output, it will be a Word documents here. Okay, so now in here, this is the coding, the sample they give here. So now you see the R Markdowns here. So if you see this signs here, pound signs here, you can change that. So here, I want everybody change to, you use your last name. So it's a Shako. Then you do the R lab exercise 1. So you know this is the lab exercise 1 here. Okay. So in here, this is the layer note here for you, so you can get rid of that. Okay, so I will highlight that and then push delete key, so you delete that. Okay, now I'm going to go over to my lab exercise number 1. Let's take a look at the question number 1 here. So let's here. Let me stop sharing here. Then I go to my lab exercise number 1 here. All right, so share here. So this is the problem number 1. So what you should do, I want you to do here is you just highlight this ones here, right? So you said, then you do a copy, all right? Then go back to your R Studio. Okay, so I'm going back to my R Studio share. So the one we just clear that out. So I'm just put this ones here. All right, so this is the number 1. Then this is the format. You can input your code here. So this one, they give you example, say R cars. So let's just delete that. So it's just R. Then in here, this is a summary of car. This is the example they give. You can delete, delete that. Okay. Then, when you do the, I hope that you will be able to, you go to find the code. So how do you do the, tally to see what is the percentages here, right? So you get that, and then you keep in the, so here, this is the code I'm going to use, right? So I said HELP, and typing through, I want to tally the substance. I want to do a format. So you should be able to run these ones here in your console here. So you can see here, pass. You can run here. You hit enter. See, that's what your results here. Or you can just you can just click this green arrows there. If you do that, whoa, they give you the results, right? So now you go back, right? So you go back to your document, the R exercise. So let's say percent, right? So they want to find the percent of the patients using cocaine equal. So highlight this one, do a copy. So edit, copy, all right? And then go back to your R Studio. All right, so go back to your R Studio. Then you can do here, because you already got the the running here, right? So you can put under the running, this is the result. So you say the percent of the inpatient using cocaine. So like in here, you can physically type in, because I see the cocaine is 33.55, so it's 33.55%. That's right, percent of it is 33.55. So that's how did you finish the problem number 1 here. Okay, so the name for the problem number 2, you can just give a few space. Then you go to the problem number 2 here. So the problem number 2, you can say, okay, so here, all right, so here, and let me see here. So you go to share the exercise number 2. Okay, so here, this is problem number 2. Just like we did before, you highlight it. They say just a copy. So they want to use this data set to find the homeless inpatients here. Okay, so you highlight and then copy, and then you go back to your R Studio, and here you go. So you can put the R number 2 here. Okay. And so, our number 2, and in fact, you can, you can kind of get rid of all these things here. All right. So you said our number 2, let's say you use the homeless inpatients here. Okay. So for this one, so you go to find the code and try to run the code. So let's assume. Okay. So this is the code. I'm going to use, right? So you can try to in the console to run the code here, right? Is you use the help RCT filter. We talk about what to filter. Then here, right? So you say, okay, this code I know is going to work here, right? So what do you need to do here? You need to use this statement, right? So you need to have this R. Okay, so you do a copy and you put it in here. All right, but instead of this, that's the oldest comments, you want to find the homeless. So you want to use this code here, the copy, and then you can put it in here. You can say here. All right, so if you don't, you say, okay, let's take a look. Let's run it. Okay, so that's good, right? So it's cocaine is 28.23%. So now you can go back to your R exercise. All right, so now let's ask you here is a percent of homeless inpatient using cocaine. So highlight here, copy, and stop here, then go back to the R Studio. All right, then put it in here. Then you say paste. They say percent of homeless inpatient using the cocaine. You see here, right? So you can type in 28.23. Okay, now you finish the second province here. Now let's do the third province. So let's go back to my lab exercise again. All right. So now let's say use the data HEOP RCT to do a pie chart. Okay, so copy this one. Okay, so you want to highlight the problem number 3. So you copy this one, okay? Then go back to your R Studio. Okay, so you go back to your R Studio. So you do the same thing. You say, hey, problem number 3 is here. All right, so I want to do a pie chart. Now you need to put your R code. So you copy the previous, this R code here is a copy. Then you copy to here, right? So here, all right. So in here, then instead of this code, you need to find the code to do the pie charts here, right? So I think we talk about it. So the code to do the pie chart, and here is typing in. So you put the code to do the pie chart will be using the tally, then piping through to the pie. In order to get the title, the commands you can use is MAIN. You can use other commands here. That's fine. And I do want you the pie chart title, instead of just say the pie chart, I want to recognize this is your pie chart. So put your last names here. So I would say Chico's pie chart for the substance. All right, so you can check, and now if you say, okay, let me run these pie charts here, you can say, boom, oh yes, right, so here I'll give you Chico pie chart for substance here. Okay, now you got all your program done, and you have the report structure generated. So the next things here, what you need to do is you're going to go up here, you say the knit on save, so you want to save it. All right, so save the current document, right? So I say, okay, I save this current document. All right, so if you want to save it, and then the file name, all right, so you can save the file as the Chico. If they will automatically save for you if you don't see. You can say Chico and R lab exercise 1. All right, so you can save it. Okay, say save it. All right, so the net on savings here, and now they automatically download for you. So you say download the file. You say download the file. See here, that's why they download the Word documents here. Okay, now let's take a look. What is this Word document? You open that up. Okay. Okay, so let's go to see when I open that up, what is my Word documents here. So here, this is what your Word document is. Pretty neat, right? So you said enable to editing, so you can editing that. So okay, so let's try to do again. So I don't know why I suddenly closed that. Okay, so now this is the Chico R Lab exercise, right? So you can give the titles here. So this is auto-populate. See here, it's pretty cool, right? So it's give you the problem number 1, have the statement. And these things here is kind of graded out. It's from the R, so they will tell you your HPRCT, and so this is the code, and this is the output, and then here is the answer we ask. Then this is a problem number 2 here, right? So the problem number 2 is the same, right? Here is the question, and this gray area, that will be your code and output here, right? So the same thing for problem number 3 here. I want the Chico's pie chart. So here is my pie chart here. All right, so then you can save this into your hard drive or to your USB drive, and then you can print that out. All right, so after you do that, it's pretty cool, right? Everybody have the standard format, and then I know exactly how do you do it, and I know your code, I know your output, so I know you did not just copy other person's numbers here. And so for the graphs here, because each one you need to have your specific names on the pie chart, so I know you cannot just use other people's pie charts here. All right, so the way you can say file, save, right? So file, save as. So like in here, what I did here, right? So I save into the, it depends. I save in my hard drive is documents. And then for this documents, I have, I call this introductions, R lab exercise. I save it into, these folders here, right? So I will save it, right? So I say, okay, so this is, I'm just save it. So they say, okay, yes, so I saved it. Then you'll be able to print this out and turn that in. That's pretty cool, right? So make sure your report is like this, all right? So you cannot use other people's report because you need to have the title and those title, the file names, and here the gray area, that's the one I see your code, and I know exactly how to do it. Then here you are going to have your own personal pie charts here. All right, that's it. I hope this help to do the report here. So because this is our first exercise, then we total have 6 exercises, right? So every other exercise, you can use the same way to create a report and save it. And so it's a pretty, it's a pretty cool tools. All right, that's it. Okay, good luck, and hope that you will be able to um, you know, produce a very beautiful reports here. All right. So nice talk to you. Okay. Bye.